Back, problem 11. Evaluate this particular expression. Okay, so let's try. So this is problem 11. You want to evaluate negative absolute value 2 times variable. Notice how I'm replacing variable by parenthesis. Minus 4 times variable absolute value. Now fill in the blanks with the variable values. X is 4, so 4 goes inside, and 4 times y is negative 3, so negative 3 goes inside. So notice the outside negative continues. You have absolute value, and absolute value is a grouping mechanism. So that means it's like parentheses. You need to simplify inside first. Multiplication takes precedence over subtraction. So multiply first. 2 times 4 is an 8 minus 4 times negative 3 is a negative 12. All right. So you have a negative outside, then absolute value 8 minus minus. So negative followed by negative is positive 12, absolute value. So that is negative outside, absolute value 20. That is negative of absolute value 20 is simply 20. So it is negative 20. Next. Okay. Similar question. Use the formula F equals 9/5 C plus 32 for converting Celsius into degree Fahrenheit. Find the Fahrenheit measure when C is negative 10. So you want to substitute C negative 10 inside this expression for F. So 9C, so it's a fraction, 9 over 5. C is a parenthesis plus 32. Now fill in the blank with negative 10. Okay, so what does that mean? This means 9/5 is going to be multiplied to this. This is a fraction, so let's convert this to a fraction. So fraction 9 over 5 parenthesis negative fraction 10 over 1. So notice I have simply rewritten negative 10 as negative 10 over 1. And this is a multiplication and plus 32. So if you notice, I should technically be using equations here, right? So this is equal. Now, how do I multiply fractions? Well, first reduce if you can. This is multiplication. So all the numerators combine. If you like, let's write it this way. Positive times negative is a negative and a fraction. 9 times 10 and downstairs is 5 times 1. You see? So that is same as negative. So you notice 5 will reduce in 10. So 5 is going to cancel 10 because 10 itself is 5 times 2. So 5 is a common factor, so we can simply cancel the 5's. So notice I have denominator of 1, numerator of 18. So overall it is negative 18 plus 32. That is, so that 32 has a positive, that's a bigger magnitude. Answer is going to be positive of the difference, positive 14. All right, next problem. Area of a triangle with base B, height h is given by this formula. The area of a triangle with base 9, height 4. So, this is a beautiful geometric problem. Problem 13. You want to find area, that is fraction half times base times height. Notice how I have replaced b and h by parentheses. So b base is 9 and height is 4. Okay, so now you know how to multiply. So you see that's a fraction, so I'll convert everybody into a fraction. 1 over 2. So I'm going to multiply by 9 is 9 over 1, which I'm going to multiply by 4 being a fraction, 4 over 1. So that is same as fraction 1 times 9 times 4. So that's the numerators. Denominators are 2 times 1 times 1. So notice this 2 will reduce this 4. 4 is 2 times 2. So one of the 2's get cancelled by this factor of 2 in the denominator. So all I'm left with is 1 times 9 times 2, 18 over 1. That is simply 18. Okay, next problem. Volume of a sphere V is 4 by 3 pi r cubed. All right, another beautiful geometric problem. Volume of a sphere. Okay, V is fraction 4 over 3 pi. Pi is some number, it's a real number. Variable power 3. Pi is the area of the circle with radius 1. It is approximately this. Alright. So notice the answer has a pi. So they don't want you to replace that pi by this number. They want you to leave the pi alone. Okay. They are telling me radius is 3. Radius is this r. Okay. So where I see r, I replace it by 3. So when I simplify this, I get a fraction 4 over 3, and I will write times that pi as a fraction pi over 1 times, and this I will write it as a fraction 3 power 3 over 1. Okay, so this gets me 3 power 3 is 3 times 3 times 3, right? So let me write everything in one fraction. 4 times pi times 3 times 3 times 3. That's 3 power 3. 3 written 3 times. Denominator has a 3 times 1 times 1. Okay, so notice one of the factors 3 cancels one of these. All right, so that gets me all of this equals fraction 4 times, so leave the pi alone. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36 over 1 pi. You understand that pi? You could write it in the numerator. It makes no difference. So anything over 1 is itself. It is 36 pi. You understand? So that pi is written already. All you need to substitute here is 36. All right. Next problem. P. P stands for principal, I stands for the total interest, R rate of interest, T for time. So if the total interest earned, so total interest earned is in 4 years is 680. So it's kind of tricky to recognize what is what, right? Interest earned in 4 years. So I'm looking at problem 15. So already 4 years is going to be time. Time is 4. 4 years at a rate is R. R is 2%. Rate of 2%. 2% means it is 2 over 100. That's what percent means. 2 over 100, which is 0.02. Remember, 2 zeros means I need to move my decimal 2 places to the left. Okay, so I need to move my decimal 2 places to the left, so I need a digit before 2. So that moves here and moves here. So 0.02 is the rate. And is 680. Who is 680? The total interest earned is 680. So I is 680. So question is find principal. Well, P formula is given by this. So principal is fraction. I have a variable over variable. You understand? So what is that? I, interest. So 680 goes upstairs. R, 0.02 goes downstairs. And T is 4. 4 goes downstairs. All right. So that is equals fraction. Because I have decimals, I will write 680.00 over, okay, 0.02 times 4, okay. So I could write this in parentheses, no harm done, it means one and the same thing. All right, so let's watch this carefully. This tells me this is equal fraction. So notice, I can move the decimal to the right or to the left, however I feel like. Whatever I do to the denominator decimal, I'll have to do to the numerator decimal. So because it's 0.02, let me move the decimal 2 places to the right. That means I will have to move the numerator decimal 2 places to the right. So 68000 over 002 times 4. Well, 002 is simply 2. All right. So notice, so that means all my decimals have gone away. I have a fraction 68000 over 8. Now we can use, let's do this by long division. I have to divide numerator 68,000 by 8. Okay, so 8 does not go in 6, but 8 goes in 68. 8 times 8 is 64. So notice that 8 has to be placed over the last digit I needed. So 8 times 8 is 64. When I subtract, I get 4 and I bring down that 0. 8 times 5 is a 40. So that 0 is actually this 0. So 5 has to be written above that 0, is a 40. Okay. Now I still have 2 zeros left. So when I bring down those zeros, look what happens. 8 times 0 is a 0. 8 times 0 is a 0. So that's how you get 2 zeros in your quotient. If you like, 0 and a 0. Okay. So basically, you didn't have to write this step, but there were 2 more places left of zeros. So that is equal 8500. All right. So I'll continue in my next video.